Welcome back to another episode of the Cast Patrol podcast. You're joined as always by myself, Mick, Jimmy, and Age, and we're fresh 24 hours after the NRL Grand Final between Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Storm. How are you, boys?
Going well. My prediction was close. The Panthers by 10. If they took the penalty goal, it would have been 10. So no surprises for me. But you guys, on the other hand, tipped Melbourne. Where do you think they lost it?
It was disappointing. I think I thought they didn't play their brand of footy. You know, the Melbourne way all year was the best attacking team all year. And, yeah, they didn't really have an answer for Penrith's defence all game. So
I think it's a combination of both. I think Storm just didn't play the way they were the whole year that got them there.
Yeah.
And I think Penrith didn't give them a chance. I think we talked about last week, one of the stats was Storm have scored 42 points on average in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
And then you get to the grand final and all that attack
one try
effectively goes out the window.
And it was a dummy half try as well. So it wasn't even off a set play.
No,
in the 22nd minute, and then after that, it was all Panthers. So I think it was to do with that first 22 minutes of the game. The ball was in play the whole time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
No stoppage.
It was just taxing on both sides.
Yeah.
But Panthers were just a fitter team in the end because Storm just took a toll, especially the second half.
I think that's the hard part when you play Penrith. Like, you know the game style they're going to do. So if you try and, I guess, out-wrestle them is the term that people use, in the middle and try and just grind through them, you're not going to do that against Penrith. They have too many quality players throughout their entire team that you just can't do it for 80 minutes.
Yeah, and personally, I think Storm middles didn't stand up. I know they were missing Nelson. They had a pretty inexperienced pack, but they just lost it for the middle.
They leaked a couple of missed tackles.
So Yo was punching through. Cleary was stepping back under the ruck. The ruck was just like chaos. They were fatigued as hell.
100%.
I think there was a point in that first half where Melbourne were just turning up the dial a little bit and they were getting on top of Penrith and then, just saw Penrith what they do best, suffocate them and then one play.
Yeah, that turning point, 38 minutes in, right before halftime.
Yeah.
Luai switches it back to Cleary. Cleary draws in Munster and Blore.
Yeah.
They both go to Cleary. Bang, Liam Martin, massive
and Howard
hole.
shoots all the way
Howard
through.
rushes up because there's an overlap and Martin goes over pretty much untouched.
I think you got to give credit to Panthers. I mean, Martin was their Clive Churchill medalist, but I think their whole team throughout the entire park was consistent and all on top of them. We talked about it before. Melbourne, they had their spine players who probably didn't perform like they have all year. Harry Grant, I thought, was one of his best, but apart from that, they're middles.
Jerome Hughes
and everyone just average.
Quiet. Yeah, very quiet. Made a few bad decisions, but it just wasn't his game, especially after being Dally M, you know?
Yeah. I think Munster tried hard. He just ran the ball a lot in that first half especially.
Had a few errors second half which crept into his game, but I guess they were just being frantic.
Yeah, they were.
But what about Pappenhausen? What do we think of his performance?
I think he was good in patches. I don't know about Pappenhausen. He's just lost his speed.
He's lost his speed.
Lost that explosiveness that that Melbourne, that he's been so good for Melbourne.
Yeah. He still created that nice little chance with Coates and then back in the inside.
Yeah, on the short side,
There wasn't many clean breaks for the Storm.
No.
Even the Panthers, the game was an arm wrestle both ways.
Yeah.
Well, there was only 4 line breaks to Panthers, 2 to Storm. So there was no, franticness of getting up the field. It was just literally set for set. And I think Storm as well, that's where I think let them down. Their last play options was just straight up, go to the winger.
Yeah,
kick
the Coates, kick the Warbrick.
I think Storm just got baited into Penrith's playing style.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where Penrith wanted Melbourne to get in that arm wrestle.
They love it,
they would just suffocate them and then kick to corners, Cleary, Luai. And Melbourne got baited into that and then the playbook went out the window and then no one wanted to run the ball.
It reminded me a lot of State of Origin Game 3 where it was just a massive arm wrestle for the whole first half.
Yeah.
And then, didn't really open up too much. It's just, even the second half, the first 20 minutes was an arm wrestle before Alamotti scored with some brilliance from Liam Martin.
It was just big moments, right?
Yeah.
That's all it was.
And Martin was involved in 2 of them. And
both of them, the try before half-time and then
massive
obviously that kick chase.
How did he get that ball?
Unbelievable.
It looked like Tago versus Pappy. Then all of a sudden, Martin comes out with his super glue hands and lets it off to Leota. Alamotti in the corner with the cheerleaders.
It was like the most unlikely trio of players to set up that try.
Yeah.
But on the other side, that's what Melbourne have done wrong and probably how they lost the grand final. But Panthers, I think we got to give them credit. 4 years in a row they've won the comp. It's their 5th grand final in a row. And I think every single year, I think they lose kick out and Apicau and you go, all right, they're probably gone. They do it again. They lose Stephen Crichton last year. Yeah, I don't know if they can attack. They do it again.
Is this year different though? Luai and Fisher-Harris,
Huge.
they're going to be massive losses. We say it every year.
Yeah.
But is this different?
But
Losing
then, like,
Luai, because we know how good Luai and Cleary play together. They've now won 78 out of 89 games. Take Luai out, take Fisher-Harris, which is their best front rower by far. I know we talk about the Bash Bros, but Fisher-Harris is him.
Yep.
They replace him. Lindsay Smith will go in the starting. Maybe Jack Cole, maybe Blaze Salungi, Laurie in the 5'8".
They got a few options there.
Can they go 5-Pete?
You know what? I'm not going to say no because the results of them winning 4 in a row isn't dependent or affecting the result in 2025. Like, it's a whole new competition and it's reset again. And Panthers are going to be one of the favourites for sure. As long as they have Cleary and Ivan and fucking Yo.
Yeah.
Mate, they are a set team.
Dylan Edwards as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
To'o.
I do, yeah.
Liam Martin.
Mardo.
No, Luai will be a big loss, but then you throw in Blaze Slungy, who could be anything as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
who knows?
But even Storm next year, they'll be up there in the Premiership favourites. Like, they get Stefano. They don't really lose anyone. So,
And they'll get another year under the belt, obviously, with those youngsters.
Yeah.
A lot of those players playing their first GF.
Yeah, the
And that's
experience
probably
was
told
showing.
it told its tail pretty much towards the end of the game.
Like, even like young Alec McDonald came on, first touch, all that emotion.
Drops the
ball, wasn't focusing on the one prize possession, which is the ball. Like, stuff
Just
like
little
that,
moments.
I do think Bellamy walks away from that one and just thinks, you know what, that's probably the one that got away.
Yeah, they were the best team all year.
Like when they lost to Roosters, I think it was a very good team, their most recent loss. But then this year it was like they were the minor premiers. You got the Dally M medalist on the team. You finally have your full spine that you've been longing for the last 3 seasons. They're all there.
I think Nelson really hurt them. I think that was
Especially
a big
in the
loss.
middle.
To an extent, yeah.
They lack the
I
punch
think
in the
that's
middle.
where they lost the game in the middle.
Yeah.
You added Nelson, different stories, intimidating.
Yeah.
He's powerful. I think if he played, there would have been a chance.
But I thought
on
Coach,
the day, Panthers were the
Coach was
best.
really good coming out of his own end.
Coach was unreal.
Like, he was powerful.
He ran for 211 metres, so he's always
The
involved
most out of
in
any Storm player.
Yeah.
And he nearly set up that try to Howarth, which
did.
we're going to touch on now.
Yeah.
Did Howarth get the ball down? Yes or no? Go.
Well, from the initial viewing of it and all those videos that were circling around Twitter and social media, I thought the refs got it wrong. But then there was obviously another angle that showed that the ball didn't touch the ground. So, and the NRL's cleared it. So, I think it's just a play on.
To prevent all this like controversy, can't the bunker just show that angle which made him make the decision in the first place?
They made it
So then
quick.
everyone could have been like, ease of mind. Yeah, Ham's on the ball, didn't get it down. They went like 30 seconds, bang, 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 no try.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was a bit like you. I was watching it at the game and I saw on the big screen the ball just go down. I was like, oh, let's try. And then I saw the reverse angle on Twitter.
Like,
and
it could have been a boot, could have been an arm. I don't
it's
know.
too hard to deny that the ball didn't go down.
Yeah.
So
let me
like-
ask you this though. Ashley Klein gives it
That's
a
what I was
try.
going to say.
yep.
Do you think they maintain that decision of try?
Well, they have to.
Yeah. There wasn't was
There's-
there evidence to overturn it?
I don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it if it was called a try.
Yeah, I think it
So
was dependent on what Klein said, and I think he got the right call.
And that could have been a big momentum swing.
Yeah.
it was
'Cause
10-6
would
at
have
that
been,
point.
Yeah, it would have been 10-all with the kick to come.
The one
Yeah.
that I thought was a bit dodgy was Pappenhausen kicks it out, but I think Sorrow's foot
Was
off the
was
kick
up.
off?
off the ground, then
Yeah.
it touches the ground as he's caught it.
That was touch
So
and
did
go.
he take
like,
it out? I don't know.
That was
It
50-50
And then the Taruva one that was circling
when he scored the first
when he scored
try.
that try.
I think he
don't
got
know.
to the line.
Honestly, there's been some deceiving angles. As soon as you see another one, you're like, yeah, okay, it's a try.
Yeah.
But there's
But
always,
look, the
there's
best
always
te-
controversy in a
The
grand
best team
final.
won on the night.
Yeah.
We can sit here and whinge as much as we want, but you know, Penrith, credit to them, 4 in a row.
They just suffocate teams.
I don't know how
do
they
it every
mate.
year. They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So
People might say it's a boring brand of footy, but I love it.
No, I think it's great.
I think we touched on it. It's the best brand of finals footy
Yeah.
that they play.
Yeah.
Just the way they play, it's just so they just strangle teams.
What do you think about them turning players under?
Well, Storm were doing it heaps, and then they started doing it heaps. Like
They just did it heaps that whole game.
it's their game plan to tie the middle, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was.
You know, that's where they're making the
and
breaks
trying
through
to
the
they
middle.
were trying to catch out Melbourne, obviously not being
Yeah.
lazy on the inside.
So that means the middles have to push up every single time they do that.
yeah.
And that's
So-
that extra bit of fatigue that crept into
And
them.
then it worked off that try just before half time.
Exactly.
Caught
Yeah.
out Munster and
They
Bloor.
all went in and then bang, massive gap.
Yeah.
But yeah, well done to Penrith. 4 peats, insane. We're never going to see that again in our lifetime.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
The way the game's evolving, I don't know how they keep doing this.
And they keep producing that same product every year. I'm going to ask you boys, who player that impressed you? We're bringing back an old segment.
I think it was Yo up the middle. Obviously, Mardo was man of the match by far. Or maybe not by far, but he was probably best on ground. But Yo, I thought, was massive up the middle. Was he run over 200 metres, 40-plus tackles, post-contact metres. He's always poking his head through the line, Yo, and,
But the thing is, he does that every week.
He does, but then he does it.
He's one of the most consistent players in our game.
Yeah, and he probably goes unnoticed, right?
Yeah. Like, if you're thinking man of the match, you're probably not thinking Yo.
Yeah.
You're going to, like, Cleary, Liam Martin,
Like those
Harry Grant if Storm
big
won.
game moments, but Yo, man, like just up the middle. Like,
Yeah. Influence on his team, he's up there with Cleary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Liam Martin was so impressive. Like, he didn't, I got to be honest, like going into the game, I never thought of him once for Clive. He sort of just flew under the radar there.
Yeah.
Because like second roles, it's hard to get it. But those moments, scoring the try, one-on-one strips, big hits in defense, catching the ball off the bomb, leading to the try, like,
Yeah.
it was a no-brainer really. Had to be Mardo.
Mine was Nathan Cleary. I've checked the stats. He's run the most runs of anyone in the grand final. 29 runs for your halfback, 212 running meters, not to mention the try assist to Mardo, and then tackles. We knew he was going to get targeted in defense, and 31 tackles he made. So defensively, he's made the work rate of like a second rower.
Fuck, maybe his shoulder was never dodgy in the first place. Maybe he's just playing mind games.
But I think like it was more if he had to like stretch it, and I
Reach
think
out, like,
towards
reach
the end of the
his arm
game, I think he did do it a little bit when he tried to tackle Blore when he was reaching out. But I think the front on contact wasn't an issue. It was more so if he had to like make a legs tackle or something.
But I thought like when someone landed on his back, maybe it would have popped it out like it did with that when Josh King did it to him the other week.
When he ran the ball.
Yeah, so I'm surprised he actually had that many runs.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
crazy.
Him and Ivan just together. They must sit down at family dinner and just take a deep breath and go, yeah, that's
4
us.
in a row.
We did
Four
that.
Pete. We did that.
We'll never see it again in our lifetime.
Nah, not especially not in the modern NRL era.
No way.
Like
they get to 5. That's crazy.
there's no reason why they couldn't.
I know.
I know they lose a few
they'll probably
plays,
be
but
favourites.
And this was probably the first year where you probably looked at it and go, you know what? They haven't been the best team all year.
Yeah.
This is the year they probably get knocked off, like we thought, Jim. And they just
they do it. They get the job done.
I think next year will be more even. Like Panthers lose a few players. Storm get Stefano. Sharks get Adam Fanua-Blake.
Souths get Wayne Bennett.
Souths get Wayne Bennett.
Yeah.
You know, a few
Cowboys
nice little signings.
Oh,
You guys, who'd you sign? Oh, Lawton.
Yeah,
That's
Kyle
about it.
O'Donnell.
Yeah.
You're fine.
And you didn't lose too many. You lost Holmes.
Felty.
Kyle Felt.
Granville.
yeah.
Finafiaki.
Holmes
Oh.
probably, Finafiaki.
Still got the D.
Chad Townsend. Oh.
Chatty.
Cliff O'Dallien.
Cliff O'Dallien. It's already started the yarn.
Have we got listener questions for this week?
Yeah, we do. Plenty about the...
I had a look before. I reckon like half of them were like, how was try or no try?
all about the GF, but I'll grab them up now.
It wasn't a try for all those who just joined.
We can go through. Fucking Yoki picks the grand final winner.
Yeah, Gnocchi's the GOAT. We got it from the back fence this time. Didn't impact anything. She picked Panthers, no hesitation.
Yeah.
She's the GOAT.
All right, here we go. Who will break the Penrith dynasty from Lil CL_A?
I think it has to be Melbourne Sharks, South. South with a miracle.
From
you know.
16, turn it up.
Just
You've
got to make
lost me.
finals, mate. You just got to make finals.
You've lost me. Let's see. S4 NNP. Will we see Storm vs Panthers GF again next year?
Yeah. I mean, they're just looking at bookie odds. They're both the favourites, 1 and 2 again. They both get relatively good additions to their team. Storm don't lose anyone. Another year of youngsters, as Jim said. You can't rule it out. It's probably the favourite for next year, but
Yeah.
fuck, we just finished the grand final. Surely not thinking about next year.
Honestly. Julian Sins 2708. What do you guys think about the Munster bite?
That's a tough one because I feel like whose was it?
Alamotti.
Alamotti's hand was definitely in his mouth.
Can't be there.
But I don't know if he bit down.
Yeah.
But I reckon there probably was teeth marks because of the pressure. But like he got cleared, so I reckon like play on.
Yeah. Matthew Daly 619. Was Hughes injured?
No, I reckon he just got shown up. Panthers defense was
I
cracked.
think he just had a
Like his running game usually is very effective, but Panthers are on. They know it's coming.
They were just so clunky in attack, Melbourne. Like I don't think like he just didn't open up for him.
Because I think the fatigue got to him late in the game, and they didn't want to play.
Yeah,
There was no one putting their hand up to run. Like they were gassed.
yeah. Plenty about Howarth, honestly. Haru.Murakami, where did Pappenhausen go?
He showed up here and there, but yeah,
It was glimpses.
you can say that about Hughes. You can say that about Munster. You can say it about their front rowers. Like where are a lot of their players? Panthers do that to teams.
Yeah. Xander Point, Leroy Ratting. What does that mean?
Rating.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
There he spelled
Yeah.
it like double
Oh,
T.
did he?
Yeah.
Kid Leroy rating. Mick, you were there live.
I was
What are you
there
rating out of
live.
10?
I think it was better live than what I've seen on TV. I'm gonna give him a 7.5, only for the fact that he played 3 new songs from the album. They are good, but in terms of you have a moment and like 10 minutes, 50, you got to impress. Don't play songs that people don't really know.
Yeah, I saw a lot of comments like Justin Bieber from the
We
Reject
didn't
Shop
really
and
listen
stuff.
to it, did we?
No, we had it on, but like the TV didn't give it justice.
Yeah.
Judging off the TV, I'd say like a 6 out of 10. Pretty
But
mid.
to his credit, there's not really been a standout grand final that you go, oh, that was amazing. I mean, people talk about Tina Turner and stuff. Yeah, probably. But
I'll tell
nostalgia
you
is
what
a
they
great
have
tool.
to do. They got to put it at half time. Why is it not like the NFL? Why is it pre-game? Like it's got to be
feel like-
half time.
Yeah, but then you don't want to ruin the feel with all the contraptions and everything.
How do the NFL do it? They have a
Because
massive
I think
break.
they use synthetic grass.
Okay,
in NFL,
yeah.
so it's a bit different. And
That's
their
fair.
half times are a bit longer than ours. So we
That's
only get
probably why.
15
15
minutes.
minutes.
yeah, I think
So-
half time's definitely better, but
Yeah, I mean, half time's great, but yeah.
I think you've just got
Not
it. I
realistic.
think it was good that they got Kid Leroy,
Yeah,
obviously.
they tried a bit
from
harder.
Redfern, love South. And I think they've got to just use Australian artists.
To an extent. I don't want to see Shepherd in another grand final. I've seen them play Geronimo a few times at multiple Sydney events.
Yeah.
But they don't,
At the races
they can't get
heaps.
another event.
Like, I don't know. Bring back Jimmy Barnes, Colt Chisel. Like, I don't
Mate.
know what you do.
You sound like the comments on Fox League's posts every
Like
week.
Meatloaf from the AFL. Mate, seriously. I think that's about it. All the other questions are pretty much all about Howarth, try or no try.
Just one for you, Jim, not NRL related. Ali.1up says,
Yep.
racing question, what's the best phrase a commentator says? Mine is, dead motherless last.
what do you like, Jim?
Best phrase, probably something about my horse winning. Be good. My horse running past the winning post.
Coming down the outside?
Yeah. Or, I don't know, to be honest.
What do they say when the horse takes off like around the corner? Like she's gone for it or something?
Going for home or
Yeah, going for home or something.
Oh, that
Or,
one.
yeah.
yeah, anything to do with my horse and being
Winning?
home. That's my favourite racing phrase.
Yeah. Or like the jockey hasn't moved on it.
Yeah. Jockey
Yeah.
hasn't flinched.
Or when
Yeah,
there's
hasn't
maybe
flinched.
200 meters left and your horse is like coming down the outside, it's already got a head in front, and then the commentator's just gone to that next volume level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
just
like
said-
says your horse's name.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when like, yeah.
Oh, and then it's over.
Yeah. 3 wide, no cover.
When you start hearing another horse's name, then you're like, holy shit, we're in for a finish here.
Yeah. You never want to hear 3 wide, no cover.
And shout out to the Kung Fu Panther for nailing.
Mate, the
They're
Kung Fu Panda,
nailing
he
it.
called the 4-peat a long time ago. I think it was like over a month ago, and every week after the win, he sent a video in, we'd post it.
Yeah.
But he'll be back next year, don't worry. Do you reckon he comes back with the Panthers 5-peat? Confirmed.
Oh, 5P. It just makes me
5P.
sick hearing that.
5-peat
Yeah.
will hurt everyone's soul. Someone just come out of the woodworks and win.
I think for like neutrals, like AFL fans, if they were looking in, they go, how do you have a comp where 5 years in a row, Panthers made the grand final and won it 4 years in a row? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Mate,
actually good.
we don't know either.
We have a salary cap as well.
Yeah.
Does not make sense. 17 teams.
Yeah.
And the same team has won 4 times in a row. They can't do it 5, can they? Well, they can, but
We'll
please,
see.
please not.
That's a next year problem.
That is an extra problem. But yeah, so we're probably going to have a bit of a break from the potties, but we do have a special guest coming out on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
NRL player. Would you say one of the best rookies going around?
Young gun.
100%.
Young gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful blue eyes. That's all we're going to give
That's
you.
all you get.
That's all you get. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for that one. That's this week, Wednesday morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing like an Everest podcast, we'll do Melbourne Cup podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty like inconsistent from here to the rest of the year, just
Yeah.
because there's not much rugby league.
Well, now
on.
it's time to enjoy your off season.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is.
It's been a
Enjoy
long
the off
year,
season. Yeah. For
Pacific
sure.
Championships, I'm sure everyone's going to tune in, but
Might be some content posted, but
nothing.
I don't know about a podcast.
Well,
But
That's how we go.
yeah, it's been a good year. Thanks for everyone for tuning in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, engaging with the content, showing your love. It does go a long way. And We'll be back. Don't worry.
Over like 28 weeks of continual
been a
rugby
long
league
year.
podcasting.
It's been
content.
a fucking long year.
It's been a long year.
But we're here. We made
We're
it.
here, made it to the end.
Any favourite moment of this year that you can remember?
I feel like going on today's show was pretty good with Gnocchi.
Yep.
Like that was never on my that was never on my bingo for this year.
Gnocchi was a
today's show
hit
was
list.
right. Yeah, was right up there.
I didn't think Gnocchi would go that gangbusters.
Gnocchi went crazy. I remember
But
it
like,
just started as
I
an
think
idea.
the fact she was actually getting him right
Helps.
was crazy.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's all good that a fat little bulldog's picking NRL, but she's getting him right in the big moments. That was clutch. So that was probably my highlight.
Yeah, today's show.
Today's show, eh?
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, hard to beat the Today Show.
What else did we do, bro? Like my mind.
Karaz Potty at the start of the year was mad.
Karaz was really good.
That was a good hit. Even the one that's coming up, you can't miss that one.
It's me singing on the bus with the Rabbitohs players.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a highlight one in the Gold Coast.
But yeah, hopefully we have a few more like player interviews in the off season. That'll be good.
Definitely got a few teed up. So it's just about lining it up into state or getting him into the cast headquarters.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Well, that's going to do me for the year. See you guys.
So you guys enjoy.
See ya in 2 weeks.